Ladies and gents, welcome on in. I'm Sibernethy, and I'm gonna show you a brand new way to play Diablo 2. And it's going to involve a number of things I sort of came up with on the spot. Having played with a bunch of characters and experimented with a bunch of different playstyles, I've put something together that is very, very thrilling for me. And I hope you guys will enjoy it too. I'm on a new computer. I don't have a video editor, so every recording I put on YouTube will be completely raw. Basically, my computer went kaput, and along with it, I lost my video editing software, among other things. So I've had to sort of cobble together a recording setup, but from scratch, and I think I've more or less got some of the basics. The microphone quality should be slightly improved. I did make a few edits through filters. But let's cut to the meat and potatoes of it. We're playing Diablo II Resurrected. I'm going to introduce a very different way to play the game. I'm going to explain it as I go along, just to save time, and so I actually give you guys something to look at. Let's start with... yeah, all my offline characters are gone except two. These are my new ones. That's what happens when your computer gets wiped. Your old, unless you backed up your save files, I don't know how it works, but your characters disappear, with the exception of your online ones. So, we're gonna create a Sorceress character. Pardon the background noise, I like to play this on with high ambient volume. So we have a Sorceress here. What is the first thing that you think of when it comes to a Sorceress? Magic, staves, more heavily reliant on magic than pretty much almost any form of combat fighting. But with this one, we're gonna flip the script, and we're going to turn this fine lady into a killing machine. And what kind of a killer? We're gonna turn this lady into a slasher film killer, using the psychology, the tactics, the maneuvers, and effective fighting tactics of melee combat as well as ranged combat. Magic is secondary to her physical fighting capabilities. We're going to accentuate the Sorceress as a warrior rather than a spellcaster. And not so much a warrior mind as more of a rogue, or, as I said, a slasher film killer. Now, I have a couple names I have for this little lady here. One is Murder Princess, the other is Stripfinger. I'm going to go with Murder Princess, because it just sounds damn epic. And just to make it extra spicy and to put my survival skills to the test, we're gonna go... yes. We're gonna go hardcore, which means if the character dies, that's it, boy. Game over, man. Game over. You can't play the character again once they die. They go bye-bye. Hardcore characters also share inventory space with other hardcore characters, but none of the others. Warning, once a hardcore character dies, it can... yes! Why'd you think I pushed a button? Yes?
Greetings, stranger. I'm not surprised to see your kind here. Many
You guys get the drift. Gist. Sorry, there's a lot of background sound. I need to actually... wait a minute. Wait. Voices. Sound effects. Screw it. We're just gonna turn it down just a little bit. Because I can't edit any of this. I have to address things while in the video. Recording live, so... there may be some details or stuff to it. Controls the sound of all voices of sounds in the game. I'm sorry, I'm not thinking right now. We can, because this is an offline character, we can do offline difficulty scaling. We're gonna start with 1. Just to get ourselves off the ground. I have been known to play on 8. Let's see.
Greetings, young sorceress. It is good to see more of your kind at work in the world these dark days. In my opinion, the world needs more women to fight against the Great Shadow. But I am forgetting my manners. I am Akara, High Priestess of the Sisterhood of the Sightless Eye. There is a place of great...
So she likes the Sorceress and has a special line for her.
Hello. Beware that you do not suffer the fate of the corrupted rogues. To lose one's life is a tragedy, but to lose one's soul is even worse.
So they're soulless, basically. Now, we can't buy anything right now, because we are starting off with our first hardcore character on this new computer on offline.
Where can I take you?
I don't know.
Hi there, I'm Charcy. I don't know why some of my sisters chose to follow.
Did they choose? Because demonic corruption often doesn't really give you a lot of choice. Kinda does the job, whether or not you are willing to sort of go along with it.
And Dario's demonic forces have taken up residence in the forest as well as... You're a brave soul. I'd sooner thrust my sacred scepter into the foulest carbuncular troll than set one boot into that cave.
This game throws some words at you that you've never heard before. So, the key to survival as a hardcore character with hardcore added restrictions, like I often put for myself, is you gotta be incredibly cunning and resourceful.
Evil beware.
Murder Princess is after you. What you gonna do? So right off the bat, I hear zombies. There we go. We're gonna actually learn how to fight well. We have no armor. Shut up. Learn to isolate targets. We found a club. If you have good timing, you'll attack as they are just getting ready to attack. When they do a little yakabah thing, that's a good time to attack as well. These guys can attack from range, so this is what you want, the fireball on the staff. If you can aim it right. Leather armor right off the bat, although we can't wear it because we're not strong enough yet. Make sure your attack rating is high. You can use a firebolt to catch them while they're running. Wear any scrap of armor you can find. Of course, you don't have to play exactly as I do, but one thing I like to do is just sort of I operate off of what I call the disposable weapon principle. I never repair anything in this game. So if something breaks, that's like, great. Next item. I sort of approach this game in much the same way as a Nuzlocke. The idea is to train the player to be better at survival. And to be a lot more effective in what you get up to in combat. So right off the bat, we're going to put all our points into strength because we already got a fair amount of dexterity. What we lack is strength, and we need that to wear items like this. As for... we're going to be utilizing all three of these skill trees. I know, not the ideal strategy for a sorceress, but we're not relying on pure magic. Magic supplements our combat skills. Frozen armor is an excellent first point to put into a skill, because we are essentially becoming a melee sorceress with some extra tactics and tricks up her sleeve. You want to catch them as they're starting to run away. Low quality club. You know, I often use these. They suck as weapons, but if you can last in a fight, that demonstrates a lot of resilience and a lot of actual combat skill. If you can last, that's an excellent measure of your survival skills, really. And plus, it will help you during prolonged fights when you don't have the luxury of choosing whether or not to finish it quickly. If you can't quite lock in on a direct hit because the enemy keeps moving, just throw shit everywhere. A skill shrine. Don't activate every shrine you come across right away. Save them. Use the ones that you need to when you need to. Like, we don't need to use the skill shrine in this case, because our base level firebolt from the staff is enough to kill most things in one hit. If you're good at fighting, you can actually sort of stun enemies and recall them at key points in the fight. Helped by frozen armor. For it punishes them for actually landing a hit on you by freezing them for a few seconds. Want to get rid of these little quill rats first. You can interrupt their attacks as well, which is also a crucial element of fighting close quarters. Now, you don't always land every hit that you make, so there is that to consider, which is why you want to go for overall survivability. You want to be able to survive some hits. And for this reason, especially playing as a hardcore character, I recommend putting quite a few points into vitality. But we don't need to worry about that yet, because we're not far enough into the game where that begins to matter. What's our armor at? Also, frozen armor actually helps buff up your defense, so you can get by with partial equipment. We're gonna attempt to fill up our stash with whatever junk we find, and then swap it out for better gear if we are forced to pick between two items. That's actually how I got some of the best gear I had. Eventually, you're gonna find, even with a playstyle like this, you will not chew through all your gear fast enough to avoid overspill. I learned this when I played as my paladin. By the way, let me tell you, playing as paladin, if you're an Auradin, like I am, put points into conversion, because any enemy that you convert, set it as your regular attack. Because when you convert a monster, it only lasts 16 seconds. But they actually pick up the auras that you give off as well, which actually satisfies her as something I've been wanting to do for a long time. which is have an army as a paladin to sort of command and to spread auras to. The only way I really knew how to do that was to somehow find a way to play with a necromancer or a druid, but, you know, players these days tend to be the speedrunny type. They want to get to the end of Act 5 in 10 minutes. I'm like, that just ruins the game for me. I want to do the exact opposite. I want to take my sweet damn time and not feel bound to do anything. Not feel pressured to do anything. So we found a sash. Very importante. And we also have a shield and a club, which basically does the same wait, was I about to say dodge? Are you kidding? Damage. Deals the same damage, more or less, as the short staff, although that scarcely matters here. I'll take whatever weapons I can find, and I'll chew through each and every one of them. Just 'cause I like to do that. It makes the game fun and interesting for me. Especially as someone who uses video games as a poor man's college for real-life skills. Esme. Don't forget, you also get access to fulminating potions and strangling potions right off the bat, although you won't be able to use the strangling gas potions until level 6. But that's okay. They make good money when you sell them. And they're also an early source of poison damage as well. Plus, they're an area of effect spell that works pretty well, actually. It does 24 damage when it, like, finishes. People overlook potions that are designed to damage enemies. But if you keep them in your back pocket, you can pull some very interesting, It is part of my arsenal. Whatever helps you survive. Now, if you die as a hardcore character, that's it. Better luck next time, bud. So, don't be afraid to run. Don't be afraid to save and quit if it means you don't die and lose the hardcore character. So we managed to get up to level 3.
This place is trouble.
Yes, it is very much trouble. time to introduce you to the art of stick jitsu. It is time to introduce you, Ed boys, to the beating of Rolf's shoe. Me. Where do you think you're going? These fulminating potions are great little tools early on because look how much damage we do with a firebolt, and look how much damage this potion does. It's basically a more deadly firebolt, and it doesn't cost any mana. This is a great early backup weapon. We've got lots of healing potions. And we even have a well right here. The game's feeling particularly generous. There we go. Very easy. Eee. Ooh, a cap. You're gonna take some hits. It's about surviving the fight. If you can get into the habit of punishing every attack that's made against you, you're going to be a far more fearsome opponent. The psychological reinforcement, I know it doesn't work on these guys because they're products of AI. They're not actual human beings, but punishing any act made against you in combat by making it hurt the attacker, or making it more likely that the attacker will be hurt, is a pretty powerful psychological tool. It does work on the Fallen, strangely, because of their tendency to run away after one of their comrades gets killed. Part of the fun playing Sorceress in this manner is when you can successfully chain up several different attacks in a row and make them look smooth as butter. There's something very satisfying about that. Oh, no you don't. Now, we just picked up a club with 2 sockets, and you know what I'm going to use this for? We just happened to find a chipped sapphire too, so we're going to put it in the club. And we now have a way to freeze enemies that does not require getting hit. We are going to use this right away. We also have a chipped ruby, which we just found, and a cap, both of which have 2 sockets in them. We can also put this to work by socketing it into one of these items, and I think I'm going to go for the armor. If you know what you're doing, even with these restrictions in place, you could be absolutely broken in combat. And there's a lot of strategy involved, but mostly it's a subconscious game, because when you play as a sorceress with a killer-like mindset, like this one does, combat is it's the thrill involved. You just enjoy fighting. You enjoy killing things. You enjoy putting up a hell of a fight and making enemies regret the day they decided to pick on this cute little sorceress here. She gonna make butter out of you. Another good thing about this club is that it cuts down the number of minions that the shamans can revive. See how some of them are disappearing because they're getting shattered? And take your time. Here, we're literally gonna fight fire with fire. I don't see any more shamans over here, which is good. So what's over here? A mana shrine. Excellent. Cast your buffs and then use the shrine. You'll make more efficient use of the mana that it provides. It would seem that staves have longer reach, being two-handed weapons. We not only killed the guy, we shattered him into pieces.
I can't carry anymore.
We didn't even take a single hit for one of those guys. Because we interrupted them, and we killed them before they could actually land one. See what I mean? So we're going to start putting points into dexterity. We're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 in, and then the last one into dexterity. I want to wait until we get a bit further in the game, like mid-act 1, before we start putting points into vitality. It will start to matter as soon as you get in the later acts, but for right now, we're fine. We need the dexterity and strength above everything else because we need to be able to equip ourselves and be able to hit things. Get Ice Bolt. Even being one of the weakest damage dealing spells in the game right now, get it anyway because it gives you a way to slow enemies down from cold. Let's see. I think we're gonna go back to town. We have gear to sell.
Good morning.
Let's see. Sell off our extra potions first. Sell off equipment we cannot benefit from, such as this. We'll keep that. Sell these clubs. Because we cannot use these yet, sell these gas potions too. Very important source of money. get a Tome of Town Portal and Tome of Identify. We can sell off that ring that does not help us. This is... Keep this for a rainy day. Equipment like this, keep at the back of your pocket. But don't carry with you all the time until you intend to use it, with a few exceptions. Let's see, if we can save up enough money that we can buy that staff, that will also help us, because... well, we can get this one for the time being. Want to know why I'm going for this? You don't have enough free... Oh my god. Yes, I do. This is a tool. It is not intended to be brought into battle with us. We keep it at our trunk at home. Anytime we go back to town to sell off stuff and go back, we cast this with the +1 to frozen armor, and then we go back. Or you can just carry it with you. Carry it with you and then swap it out as a utility tool. Cast a spell, and then come back. As for the armor, we need the money more than anything else right now. Swap the gloves. And we'll find keys along the way. We do not need to buy them yet. I've yet to come across a locked chest. Okay, so we're gonna have 3 different categories of items to put in the stash, and personal would just be stuff that we expect only the sorcerers to use, such as this. The fulminating potions we'll keep in our back pocket. This axe, however, we're gonna put here. This is going to be our our melee weapons chest. Sorry, there's a terrible smell in this room somewhere, and it's just got to be extinguished. Let me tell you something. Mustard gas has a more pleasant smell than when a cat uses the litter tray. Trust me. Don't go smelling mustard. Don't go doing that. Just not everything needs to be done for the sake of experiment. Take my word for it. Anybody who's ever had a cat knows the deathly miasma that emanates from the fucking box when it gets used. God, oh, that's foul! Begone! Begone, foul stench! Thou must be extinguished! Get the holy water! With the help of a tool, we can now cast Frozen Armor at level 2. Without actually needing it yet.
Good day.
Since we have Ice Bolt, we can dispose of the Fireball Staff. Now we can pick up the rest of the items here, including this crude leather armor. Crude armor still sells for quite a bit sometimes, so... And also, as someone who is a hardcore scrapper, I would prefer to fill up my chest with junk that has some use, if nothing else. And then replace it with better gear if there's no more room. And you sell off what you can't store. Gold is a very useful resource. There is a health shrine here. Oh, there you are. Perfect.
This cave has been purged of evil.
Well... As luck would have it, the last item we get from here is an amulet. Amulets are worth $1. They take priority over other items when you're hunting for gold. And they're so small! That makes them convenient to get as well.
You have cleansed the den of evil. Though he has only been our guest for a short time, I sense that Wareve has faced many harrowing trials. Though he knows as I do that a terrible evil has blanketed the land, his only real concern is to reach the eastern trading ports with his caravan.
You gotta love the gossip. The NPC chatter. Chatter of the masses. Alright. Get every skill you can. I'll put the point into charged bolt.
Welcome, out, my rogue scout.
Okay, so we now got Kasha's quest. I'm going to save and exit the game and then start a new recording, but before I do, I'll just say this. This woman here, her voice actress turns out... Did you know she voices the teacher from Jumpstart First Grade? Yeah. Same lady. The lady that voices a first grade teacher in an edutainment game or whatever, Jumpstart First Grade, voices Kasha in Diablo 2. Think about that. I personally know the voice actress that plays Bloodraven, the Countess, as well as Andariel. And Mala from the expansion in Act 5. I just thought I'd mention that. I thought that would interest some of you. But yeah, ladies and gents, I don't know how long this recording is or how big it's gonna be, but I'm gonna cut it off here before it gets so super massive it becomes a pain in the butt to upload to YouTube. I hope this playstyle interests you. If you want to see more, do let me know in the comments. I would love to continue this. This is Murder Princess signing off. Actually, no, it's Sibernethy signing off. But I'll catch you guys later.